Hello, welcome to my sewing room. My name is Carole. I have learned some lessons this week and I've also eaten my words on a couple of projects. Lots to show you. Really hope that you stay tuned and enjoy this #Friday Sews. Now I'm recording this at the beginning of October and I just want to say I cannot start #Friday Sews and go chirping on about all the things that I've sewn without just saying that my heart goes out to my friends in America right now, particularly the ones in North Carolina. Now, you know I've got very close links there. Only recently I saw and met the lovely Andra from Andra Makes, Diane from Silver Thread Sewing and Cynthia from Mountain Accents. And I know both Cynthia and Diane are fine and safe and well, but they have suffered some damage and they've got power outages, water outages, etc. Now, we are the most amazing community, aren't we? And I know we are all thinking of them. Anybody else that is viewing that I know of, my heart goes out to you. The pictures we're seeing, even on our televisions back in the UK, are just dreadful. And of course, I do know that area as we have been there a couple of times, and it's just awful. But it will get sorted. It will take time, but it will get sorted. But yeah, I just want to know if you're over there and you just happen to have some power and watching, we are all thinking of you as the sewing community. So I've had to eat my words a couple of times this week. As very often the case, I will hold up a pattern and say to you, oh, I've made this loads of times, I'm just going to make this. And it's gone wrong. Or I've made in the past something and I say, I'll never wear that. And end up it's being the most popular thing I've made. I'm going to start though with saying what I'm wearing, and I know you can't see much of it. I've decided to stand up today so I don't get the creaky chair. But this top, I made it years ago. It is Simplicity 8556, and it's this little top here which you could easily forget about when you see all this going on. So it's that one there. And what I love about it is it's got a little back dart. It's got a yoke and a back dart. Now this is one I made a few years ago. It's a little bit tight on me now. It was made in a very light viscose chalet, but it's autumn. I love the flower, it's autumn. So I'm still squeezing into it and I can still kind of move my arms forward. But yeah, don't discount this pattern if you ever see it, because it's really good. And I think Viv Mom has made the trousers and it's brilliant. So that's what I'm wearing today. So I'm going to start with the Burda trousers that I made this week. Now I held up a piece of denim last week and said, oh, I got this stretchy blue denim I bought locally and I'm going to make these up and they're going to be like jeans and it's all going to be wonderful. I think I've actually invented a new type of jeans. They're not jeggings, they're not joggers, they're not jeans. They're very stretchy, look like jeans but are sloppy. I don't know what we're going to call those. So I have made this pattern 6 times. Funnily enough, the first time I ever made this, and I'm going back, 5-6 years at least, I bought a stretchy linen and made it in stretchy linen, and they were way too big and I'd almost forgotten about that, because I then went on to make it in a kind of slightly stretchy fabric, all sorts of things, twill and all sorts of things, and it's all been fine. But here we have, I wanted to use this pattern to make a pair of jeans out of this very soft stretchy denim. Now, I actually measured this denim and it's got 30% stretch, which was my problem. So I made nothing wrong with making the pattern up, and here they are, and they kind of look all right from a distance, but man, did I have to alter these. I've taken them in so many places and altered the crotch and taken them in the legs and taken in the sides, and I've even had to, in the back, which I've never done before, put elastic in. Well, I think I put elastic actually all the way around here, because although this bit was kind of okay, obviously with 30% stretch and putting a waistband on, it's just too big. It's just too big. So I have ended up with a pair of jeanish type things I can wear. They are very comfortable, and I made them straight leg, and yeah, they're very comfortable, and I will enjoy wearing them around the house to look like I'm wearing jeans, but I'm actually wearing sloppy trousers, I think. I did all the thing. I didn't do the design on the pocket because I'd lost faith at that point. So that's that, but as you can see, I've got that. When I'm wearing them though, you can't see that. That's just bringing it in because it was just too gapey on the back. I didn't even bother to put a jeans proper button on there. I just got a metal button. You know, the buttons you get free when you buy things. I used to always keep them, so got a good supply. So here they are. Obviously I would try them on for you. I don't love them, and this fabric was cheap. I should know this. I went to Fabricland in Bournemouth in Dorset, and I know what Fabricland fabric is like, and I just went ahead and bought it because it felt soft. And even though I washed the denim before I sewed it, I ended up with blue fingers, and I got to put a photo in of my fingers. But by the end of this project, I'd had enough. I'm going to wash them again before I wear them, maybe on a bit hotter wash, and just hope they don't shrink. But yeah, that was the easy project that did not turn out to be easy. I was so fed up after that, honestly. With my blue fingers that I had to try and scrub, I had to do something fun. So what did I do? I had some pre-quilted fabric that I've recently made the Oakley vest from Love Notions, which I put the video out this week on that one. That was a collab with a lovely Agatha from Agatha's Cottage. Hers is brilliant. She used a really different binding, and it just makes everything pop on it. Brilliant. Mine is more subtle, with some kind of shiny binding on it. But anyway, I'll put the link to that video down below. But yeah, had some pre-quilted fabric. I thought I'm going to make one of Adam's pouches because they're fun, they're great, and obviously this fabric was pre-quilted, and oh my goodness, how much quicker it is when you haven't got to quilt all the pieces together. I literally just cut it out, threw a zip on it, found a bit of contrasting fabric, and voila, I have myself a lovely new little makeup bag. Adam's, there are 3 sizes. This was the middle one. I use this pattern all the time, and I know a lot of other sewists do. Put a little hook on. That made me happy. Now, this is the pre-quilted fabric I said that I bought for the Oakley vest, but of course I ended up using the plain side. So I always felt a bit sad that I didn't have that on the outside, but it would not have been practical. So at least I got to do that. I've got some quilted fabric left, so I'm going to make some more of these in different sizes, and that made me happy again. I also made something else that made me very happy this week, and I made myself those pair of oven gloves. Now, as I said right at the beginning, this fabric actually was from Diane from Silver Thread Sewing, and sadly I know she won't be watching, but I think I'll have to send her a picture of these if she can get the photo, and just say I made this from your fabric, and this makes me so happy. I've said 100 times on this channel, but Piglet is my favourite character. So I've made these using the pattern that I did, and I'm going to put a sew along, I hate saying tutorial, sew along on my channel next Tuesday for how I did this. I don't use a pattern, I've drawn my own, but there is a way around that, but you can do it just without a pattern. But yeah, I broke down how I actually made these. These make me happy. I know it's childish, but these make me happy. Thinking about it, my week did improve from the blue experience of those jeans. After the pouch, after my oven gloves, I then decided I need a new fitness top. Now, this is where I ate my words. So back, I can't remember when it was, I think it was even a year ago, I made the Itch to Stitch Lago or Lago Tank, not sure. I made that and I was not really happy with it. In fact, in the video I said, I didn't know it was a race back, I'm not really happy with it, look at it, you can see the bra strap. but I said I'll just use it as a fitness top. Well, in actual fact, that top I wear every week. It is my favourite yoga top. I also do some other fitness and running and stuff, but I use it all the time, and I thought, this is crazy, I've only got one, why don't I just make another? So I went to dig out the pattern. I couldn't find the pattern. Something is going wrong with my system at the moment. I don't know what it is. Now, the Itch to Stitch Lago Tank is a free pattern when you sign up for the newsletter. So that was brilliant. I thought, right, I'll get it again. And what I did was sneakily used a different email address to get the new pattern. Because when I did go to the drawers and see if I could find it, this is all I could find. I've obviously was the Lago Tank Itch to Stitch, but I put something else in it. So what did I do with that? Why have I scrubbed it out? And what have I done with that? So there we go. That was frustrating. So printed it all off. Oh, as a side note, why I'm cross about the fact I lost that pattern is because I remade it and I adjusted the sides so it was wider here. So that's a bit annoying, because if I want to do it again, I'm going to have to do exactly the same thing. So you didn't see the bra straps, but for a fitness top, it was perfect. Now, I used one of the Walmart bundles I bought on our recent trip, and this one here. It's like a cotton jersey, but there is something else in it because it's quite drapey. This was perfect. This has come out so well. I am so pleased. I put some embroidery on the front and I did a bit of my own design. This is not perfect, but I've learnt a great embroidery lesson from this. But this is what I did. I've done yoga. Now, if you do yoga, you'll know you do a lot of sun salutations, which is why I've turned the O into a sun. Now, it's not going to matter. I mean, you can all see that the Y and the O and the G and the A should be closer together. There is a reason why it isn't. I might try and draw that for you and show you why. But it's not going to matter because it's under my boobs and it'll distort it anyway. But oh, I love this so much. And I'm going to make another similar one. I think it's the drape of this fabric as well. It's just perfect for a fitness top. I used my cover stitch. Now, I will say, it was a long time before I actually decided to go ahead and buy a cover stitch machine, because I didn't think I'd use it, but I really do use that a lot to finish off seams. And this time I finished all the binding off with it as well. Don't know if you can see it, and look how neat that has made it. Just perfect. So I did the neck binding. I did 2 needles. I didn't do the 3. I did the 2 needles, and it's just made it wonderful. And obviously it does the hem really well as well. So I'm so pleased. I've put some photos in. I'm so pleased with my yoga top. Now, when I do this again, obviously I will line it up better. So if you've got an embroidery machine, what I did was I've only got a 4x4 frame, so 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters, which meant I couldn't get the 4 letters on one thing. I had to do 2 and 2. And what I did was move the Y and the O too far over, because when I wanted the G and A, I couldn't get them far over again. It's difficult to describe. I'll draw it out on a bit of paper and put a photo in for you. But I know now to shift the Y and the O over and the G and the A, and they should meet better. It doesn't matter. It's a bit of fun. I'm the only one wearing it, and the room is very often dark anyway. So that was another happy success in the sewing room. Right at the beginning of the year, it was one of my fabric wheel makes actually, when I had lots of what was it? So I got a French terry and sweatshirts. I made using this, which I think was a Beyond the Pink Door subscription box fabric, because I don't think I'd have bought that colour, so it must have been in a box. I decided to make with the wheel the Southbank Sweater dress. Now, I was very unsure at the time. I'll put a picture in of the dress. So this was back in January. I liked the pattern, but as a dress, it clung too much on my hips. And I remember saying that I don't think I'll wear this as a dress. I wore it once for a Valentine's Day dinner, but that was all I did. And I was kind of a bit annoyed because I loved the top part and not the bottom. So as you can see, I have cut 10 inches off the bottom, and I now have myself the Southbank sweater, not the dress. This was such an easy alteration. I don't know why I waited all year. All I did was chop off the band at the bottom, cut off my 10 inches, and the band still fitted really well on what I had left. Had no problems. I just serged it back on again, and voila, as they say. I now have a really nice jumper that I know will get used a lot in autumn. It was a kind of colour that was quite nice on me, but as a dress I was just unhappy with it, the way it clung around my stomach. So I will be wearing this a lot. So I should have just made the jumper in the beginning, shouldn't I? The last thing I'll tell you that I'm trying to make at the moment is this. New Look 6545, and I will show you it next week. Now this was out of that pink slippy quilted fabric. What I didn't realise about this pattern is it's a lined jacket. Now if you know me, and particularly Jen, if you're watching, you know that I am petrified of lining anything. However, the instructions look good, but actually a lined jacket wasn't what I wanted, and the only time I realised that I couldn't do it, I cut all the main pieces out and I thought, oh, I won't line it, is when I realised that the pocket construction was going to look so wrong if it was unlined. And obviously it's a jacket, you want the pocket, because I always have a runny nose the minute I step outside the door in autumn or winter, so I've always got to have a tissue on me. So it wasn't going to work, so I knew I was going to have to line it. So I am battling my way through this at the moment, and I've run across another issue as well. Hopefully I will have something to show you next week with that, because I know a few of you have made it. Now on to a tiny bit of life. We are going away in the holiday home this weekend. It shuts on the 1st of December and then we can't go till the 1st of March. So yeah, I'm going to miss disappearing down there. I thought this time I would take down, as I've got problems with my overlocker and I brought my own overlocker back, I'm going to take down, do you remember that quilt top that I found in a charity shop? I'm going to take that down and have a go at kind of finishing it, because that could be something I could do down there. So that's what we're going to do next week, as well as do that jacket. Now, we had a wonderful weekend with the grandsons, and I also went away with my parents to see a museum. Now this was a present for my dad's 90th birthday. What can you give when you're that age? What can you give someone? So he's always wanted to go to this museum, and it's about an hour and a half away, and obviously they can't drive there now. So I thought, right, we'll take a trip up there, and we had an overnight stay and then we went to the museum, and it was fantastic. I really wish I'd taken the children there when they were younger. It's in Hampshire, so it's not a million miles away from me. Should have done it. But it was brilliant, and we had a great time looking around. It's kind of a living museum where it's in an aircraft hangar, but they've actually built brick buildings inside, like a Victorian little town, little village. It's brilliant. So we had an amazing time, and obviously, as I said, we had an amazing time with the boys. Weather was perfect, luckily, and we had a great laugh with them. So those are the photos I will put in at the end. As I said right in the beginning, I learnt some lessons this week. I've learnt to go with my gut instinct. If I know the fabric is cheap from a shop, be careful what you sew with it. I've learned to say, oh, I'm never going to wear this, it's not going to work for me, and it does. So yeah, I've learnt a couple of lessons, and obviously the gut instinct about the sweatshirt dress, I should have just chopped it off at the time, and then I could have worn it through the into the spring, which I didn't. Of course, it just sat in my wardrobe. So learnt some lessons. I hope everybody has a good weekend and week ahead, and obviously if you're living the other side of the pond, as we call it, I hope life can start to get back to normal very soon for you. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out if you're interested in making the oven gloves. I'll put that out next week. I may pop another video up next week. I'm not too sure. I've got something in mind. So as for me, you know I am very random with my videos, so you've got to keep your eye out. I'm not as organised as some people. Thank you again. See you soon and have a good weekend.